Ladies and gentlemen, give me a thumbs up. Let me know we're live. This is the non-software setup. This is actually I am being streamed on the YouTube platform natively itself. So this is sort of a new process. Yeah, so it looks like I cannot highlight certain comments. So as I promised you guys, I I wanted to explain to you guys what happens when I got into those technical difficulties. So in the beginning of every week, I schedule. Guys, just let me know that I'm live and I'm not talking to myself here. Beginning of every week, I schedule three streams, right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's within my software. And I'm specific. I let it slip once, but I specifically never call them out because I don't know if I want to go there yet. When that happens, software asks YouTube for permission to link certain stream with a YouTube broadcast. And it just, over the past, what is it? I think 4 out of the last 5 streams or 3 out of the last 4, something like that. It just decided to not link to the YouTube stream it asked permission to broadcast to. What happened after that was I had to create a new stream natively, either in the YouTube platform or another hastily scheduled linkage on the software to go to YouTube, let you guys know the new link, and so on and so on. I'm done with that software, cancel that subscription. I think I'm going to try a different one. But hey, the YouTube platform itself natively doesn't seem too bad right now. So, Sean, the mic cable, actually, it has to do with my whole setup here. I can actually move this arm wherever I want. The length of the wire doesn't really matter. As far as my freedom here. Desert Sunset, thank you so much. Jamal, thanks. I mean, I didn't know if I should go into the whole explanation, but no, I'm happy that you guys were interested and I explained the whole thing out for you. Oh, Nancy, you're on a potted plant on my desk. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to follow up on that offer, but I'm still tinkering around with a bunch of stuff here, right? We're 3 minutes in. All right. And we'll do some housekeeping for another 2 minutes. Now let me take a poll of the audience here. Did I outgrow that sign? Because it's no secret here, right? I am repurposing this content and I'm splicing it up into short form content. And listen, if I get more viewership, I mean, that's great. I want this channel to grow. I want this community to grow. But it was brought to my attention a couple of things. First off, if some new person comes across either this live stream or any of the short form content, they may mistakenly affiliate me with the Smerconish program. Meanwhile, they don't know the story behind this desk. They don't know the story behind that sign, so on and so on. I think there are 2 channels we can go down. Number one, I simply make a video on sort of like an intro video on why I'm doing this, why I'm at this console, why I have that in the background. Or I put my own branding. I could either put it there, I could put it here. I don't know what I'm going to do about this pipe. I just probably have to lower the camera or something like that. And I don't know. Maybe I could even do a green screen, and then we can just really have fun with it. Bob, son of Smerconish. Tammy, I've thought about that for a while, about the sign. Just time to be you. Yeah, so Jamal, intro explainer video pinned to the YouTube main page. Yeah, so if you look right now, I have an intro video there for my first, let's say, go around before. Really, it was before my son's diagnosis, and I put in like a good 8 months into that channel. So that intro video exists now. How affiliated do I want to be with Michael? I mean, I've been so connected to him for so long, and I still am. It's my main source of news, and so I guess Tammy's hitting it right in the middle, right? So that's where we're supposed to be, stuck in the middle. I think I'll give him the homage will be the console, but that's a lot of real estate right there. I may move that, let's say, to the side, maybe for me to look at, and I may be putting my own signage. I don't know, but we're 5 minutes past the hour, and let's talk some politics, right? Oh boy, did I want to get into this. So I can't believe that I didn't pounce on it on Wednesday. And, I was wrong. I should have. Whatever's happening with Brendan Carr at the FCC, I think this is unexcusable. Now FCC is opening a probe into ABC's The View. They had James Tallarico on, and so to inform myself on what happened with AOC in the Munich Security Conference. Yeah, it won't strike you as crazy to think that I'm like absolutely no fan of Representative Ocasio-Cortez. Really no fan. Like, I think she's bad syndrome of this country. But I wanted to see what the blooper or the screw up was in the Munich Security Conference. Sorry, guys, before I forget, sorry to take you off this. See how I started on time today? That's how a good software is supposed to work. By the way, just putting that out there. Back to Cortez. The first video that the YouTube algorithm populated for me to see the actual footage of what the mumbo jumbo was The View. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, we do know this is a flagrantly left-leaning show. Let's see what they have to say. I just wanted the raw footage. Let's see what they have to say about AOC's mishap in Munich. So they play the video, and they said, basically, it's not her cup of tea. You can go back, you could see it. It should populate the first thing for you. But that's not to say what the vice president said about AOC was more excusable or more normal. But they were definitely AOC sympathetic. The current ruling by the FCC, which they announced since the wasn't Jimmy Kimmel? Jimmy Kimmel, a couple days ago. I mixed the nighttime show hosts forever. Is that they fell under the news category. So that was an exception to the equal time rule. Michael had a great segment yesterday on the equal time rule being a rule, not a law, and it applying only to broadcast television / radio instead of online. First off, the mold of broadcast TV and radio is far broken. That is not the main medium that people consume information these days. I will point you to our esteemed Professor Scott Galloway to profess that for you. You can go ahead and view his content or ask any of your AI chatbots how it is changing. I mean, the only reason why I have cable TV is basically for Michael's CNN program. Maybe some sports too, but I never open up my YouTube TV app besides for that. I mean, growing up, I had Dish Network, but otherwise, content, I never look into it. My brother, he's only a year younger than me. He doesn't even have cable TV. He's just all digital. And what he does for live stuff, I have no idea. But think of it. Everything is simulcasted onto YouTube and stuff. So first off, that whole classification of broadcast versus online, it's already broken. That's the first thing. The second thing, Brendan Carr, and it's more indicative of the entire Trump administration, it's no secret, is specifically going after a certain ideology. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to say equal time, but only against the left-leaning nighttime show hosts and only against The View. Did he go against Fox News for having the vice president on? Well, the vice president's in elected office. Is he going to go against? Is he going to go against Fox News for only having on Republican versus Democratic candidates? Is he going to go after Fox News for? He won't. He won't. It'll piss off the wrong people. Yeah. So they're picking. So now, here's something that I'm going to opine on. I want you guys to put it in the comments over here. The interesting case is CBS's defense was, if you run the Telrico interview, it might fall under the equal time rule. So don't air it. They put it on YouTube, circumvented that technical, I guess, trade-off. But CBS didn't say don't air it. CBS could have said, make sure you have the opposing candidate on as well. Is this CBS counsel wrong? I mean, I don't think so. If it may trigger an equal time rule enforcement, just have the other guy on, or do what they did. I think there's a certain appeal, or a certain, what's the word I'm looking for? Fetishizing, a certain attraction for the headline because Barry Weiss took it over, the Ellisons bought it, to make it as if there's some sort of censorship. To steal a line from Mark Halpern, and I'm mindful of the time, we're at 13. I have one more thing I want to get to. The media, the mainstream media, has lost credibility. There's no question over the past 10 years. The reshuffling by Ellison and Weiss may just be, and we have to be open-minded about this, an attempt to get that credibility back. So having these late night show hosts as considered as news, that's inaccurate in my opinion. Making sure that CBS maintains their license with the FCC, if you think of it from a business point of view, it's nearly existential. I think Carr is illegally out of place suppressing speech. Don't get me wrong. Especially with, this is not the first headliner case that he's had in terms of revoking licenses. But to be clear, he didn't revoke licenses, but it came up in the past. Yeah, the government deciding who's news enough. It's a line too far for me. Okay. Second thing I wanted to hit on. Sorry, I had this loaded up for you here. Trump gives, of course, I'm going to hit on this one. Trump gives Iran 10 days Trump gives Iran 10 days to know whether there's going to be a meaningful nuclear deal or face potential military consequences as the U.S. forces increase their presence in the Middle East. I read a headline that our presence in the Middle East has never been as high as it is now since 2003, and we all know what happened soon thereafter. I'm convinced that this is posturing, but I'm also convinced that Admiral Stavridis got it right in terms of the chances are more likely than not that we will that we will strike. The Iranians are, of course, I get famous, infamous, depending who you are, about being untrustworthy. They truly have no reason to enrich uranium, especially to the amounts that they have. But as the Admiral said, you can't really take away the knowledge they have to enrich uranium unless you go for regime change. And I just can't believe that this is in America's best interest. So here's the map as I see it, and I'm talking the ideological map as I see it. We either strike, strike, see what the Iranian people do, and then the Iranian regime, since they're really no match for the United States, as far as I know, may retaliate slightly, may bend the knee, may already have a prearranged sort of showdown with the Americans as far as Trump showing power. Or we strike, the Iranian people rise up and have a coup, and then we are hoping that the replacement simply forgets about enriching uranium. Do I think it's in our national interests? Listen, with the information I know as a simply informed American citizen, it's better that the world's biggest sponsor of terror not have power or uranium enrichment capability. But is this on the top of my mind as an American right now to just go ahead and strike Iran? I mean, I don't know what my national security intelligence is, but it's not a lot. I'm more concerned with tariffs. Just that affects my daily life. Maybe there's some glaring security interest that I should know about, but you can go back on my channel. For those of you who have been with me for about 30 days or so, I mean, I've been streaming for what, almost 50 days at this point. I think that Trump's military buildup is simply going to change the headlines. I mean, we want, as Americans, I think, and I'm speaking for myself here, we want results, not necessarily the shift in headlines. Trump is all about changing the headlines. The ex-Prince Andrew arrest doesn't really enlighten me. I mean, the guy's going through his legal process. Let him. But I don't understand people's intense interest in that. But what I do understand, and I've gotten some comments in this regard, the Epstein files, I guess, prove that certain people need to be held accountable for their actions, especially if they are now in positions of power. And very little of that accountability is being, I guess, brought down here in America. I guess the Clintons will be testifying next week. Trump is basically untouchable at this point. But I mean, how much longer is this Epstein thing going to drag out for? I don't know. I do want to say a little bit on today's Smerconish poll question. Is the use of profanity in politics refreshing or overdone? It must be done right. Um, when Israel attacked Iran after Trump, I guess, disallowed it, and he said they don't know what the F they're doing. I have no problem cursing, by the way. I just don't want, the higher up algorithm gods to flag this. That worked. That worked. And I believe Smerconish had a segment on it. But when, let's say, Mayor Fry used it in Minneapolis, out of Minneapolis, that just seemed petty, ineffective. I don't know. Maybe it's a rhetorical thing. Maybe it's a bias thing. I mean, I met Mayor Fry. He seems like a nice guy, but but it should be used very sparingly. And this is talking to a guy, I think, more of an old-fashioned guy, at least from what the people around me tell me. I'm gonna hit one more headline seems to be sort of attractive to me. This whole UFO stuff, I guess it really gets clicks. Why do we? I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting in the same sense that, let's say, the submersible that went after the Titanic and imploded. I couldn't get my eyes off that thing. It was such a story, and I went and watching documentaries about Titanic. I went down a rabbit hole like crazy, but it just doesn't affect my life. And this Obama on UFOs, and then Trump saying he released classified information, so Trump's going to release UFO files. First of all, yeah, he also said he was going to release the Epstein files. Let's see what actually gets released. What I'm more concerned about is Trump. I really, 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 really hope doesn't send his crony Justice Department after Obama in terms of indictments and stuff like that. Again, really, really hope he doesn't do that. Yeah, I that's where I'm afraid this is going. Okay. I'm going to head into some comments here. That's a little bit of everything I wanted to get to. Cool. Let's do that. Ladies and gentlemen. Cool. And just so you guys know, I do reread every single one of the comments. For those of you who may be new to the stream, how many do we have here? 19. I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tried to put out a pre-recorded little commentary on Sundays, and where I send out a newsletter as well, just my thoughts on the week and different trends in the news. So subscribe below and make sure you sign up for my newsletter. And for those of you who are avid fans, first of all, thank you. And second of all, the more the merrier. So let's, if you can, let's spread this. Let's do some good stuff. There are too many ideologues out there, and I'm not going to be one of those. Okay. Tammy was responding to Desert Sunset that you saw something and it was sickening. I wonder what that was. And that's very interesting. YouTube doesn't let me go back to like the earlier comments. Desert Sunset replying to Hamilton, there is no funding in the SAVE Act to be able to process all the paperwork people will need. Like I said, all the SAVE Act needs to do is have the states amend the current law for the real IDs, ensure that those who have real IDs prove citizenship. Simple. And also enable every state to have free non-driver photo IDs. I'm okay as a taxpayer. I'm okay with that. Everybody should have a photo ID. I think, in my opinion, legal or not, everybody should have a photo ID. And New York City has done that. They have their own version of an ID, but it's not so presentable. Like it doesn't work to open bank accounts. I think there's something to it, but I think everybody should have a photo ID or access to a free photo ID, government funded. I don't mind it. And then we can present that to vote. I'm fine with that. Totally fine with that. Nancy Lawrence, too much cursing is ineffective as well as downright rude. Too much, you're right. Like, I'm not saying be a sewer mouth. I'm saying if you want to express a certain point with a certain exclamation mark, and you want to be laid back, relatable, not so formal, casual, makes sense. If you want to give off an impression of anger, again, impression of anger, not rage. If you want to give off an impression of anger, not give into your instinctive rage, politicians cursing could be effective. I'm not saying do it, but it could be effective as a form of rhetoric. That's just my take on that. Let me be clear. You can do a lot more. You can do a lot more in terms of impactful speech, not resorting to profanity, but if you're going to use profanity, there's a way to use it. Desert Sunset. I curse in multiple languages. Touche. It is very interesting what different cultures consider a curse in Scandinavia, saying the devil is considered harsh. I mean, curses really, I mean, of course, they differ by language and by culture. I speak three. And yeah, I guess I could curse. I never thought of it. I could curse in all three, I guess. Hamilton, our canine is giving me the eye. She's been out twice eating treats and finished my cereal. Now she wants more. The devil. You know, I'm not a canine guy. Let's go on with I don't mind cursing if it's Harvey. I don't mind cursing if it's used effectively. Comics who use it in every other word leave me cold. Yeah, exactly. You can overdo it, and I don't like that. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Harvey. Let's scroll a little more. Sean invested along on my cable. Told you the mics are right. I just got to figure out this setup. Nancy, the sign is great. Okay, so now I really don't know what I'm doing with the sign. You know, another thing that crossed my mind, like I would love to put a picture of like my family up, but then there are also a bunch of creeps out there, and I don't want to get my family up in in the blogosphere here. Unfortunate about the times we live in. Maybe the picture of me and Michael. It doesn't have to be so big, but like a little picture somewhere. Just that would be my homage, I guess. Like I really, yeah, he had a huge impact on me. I listened to him since I was 17 years old, and I'm about to turn 30. So, per CNBC, Supreme Court may rule on tariffs today. Yeah, like I said, tariffs really matter a lot to me, and not the content for this channel. I'll actually, if you're interested, I can link to content on another channel I have about the business impact of it in the e-commerce world. It'll be huge. Scott is the one who wants you to cancel YouTube. Nancy, you have to specify either YouTube Digital or YouTube TV. Careful. My son is all digital also. He's 29. Macaroni. Yeah. I'm 29. I'm all digital too. But I don't have a cable box. I have YouTube TV, which works through the internet. I think all the other providers are actually, someone has to come into your house and install a box and a satellite. And I mean, who does that anymore? Who needs that? All right. We got a minute left. Hamilton, Crockett has already been a guest on the show twice. Why not invite Talarico? There was already parody. You have a point. And why does Carr have to go after them in the way he has? Is he playing for the audience of one? All right, I'm scrolling down to the more recent comments. Nancy, okay, you hit a great point, right? Michael has something going on great where he has a daily poll question. I don't want to copy him in coming up with a poll question because I think that's just inauthentic. But what I've been thinking was maybe a daily quote with a blank in there. So, for example, there's a quote out there. It's claimed to be by Napoleon Bonaparte, but I don't think it is. If you want something done blank, do it yourself. And then you have to log on to see what the blank is. The real quote is, if you want something done well, do it yourself. And every day I'd come up with something like that, but leave out a blank because you would want to see how the quote works. I think that's genuine enough on my part. But yeah, I would love to have a form of a daily poll question. You guys let me know what would be unique, but because I definitely don't want to copy the poll question. But I do need something for fodder, something to direct people to my site, and so on. Okay. Latest the swear word of the day, M3. That's funny. So Hamilton, I agree. You said it's an interesting idea. Most people would Google the quote to see what, where, when it was first made. So I would agree with you. Most people would Google it first. But if you're going to get the quote of the day and there's a link right below the quote to see the full quote, I think people would rather click the link instead of going and Googling it. So that's my response to that. Harvey, Charles, you don't need a I think that means shtick. I don't need a unique thing yet. You know, that boils into this whole position I'm finding myself in. Do I get rid of that sign? Do I get my own sign? Do I make a video explaining the console? You know, got to think of that. I always had a riddle of the day to solve. So, guys, you let me know. What the I would want the. Let me know on everything I brought up for you, including comments. I take insults, I take compliments, I take questions. I love it all over here. And fun fact, I turned off comment moderation on my channel, so you can literally tell me anything. And hey, if anyone censors the comment section, it's YouTube, not me. Macaroni, yes, I will be myself, and I don't know how to be anybody else, right? If not for myself, who am I? Sean asking Harvey, do we need to know Yiddish for this broadcast now? For a fun fact, I don't know Yiddish. I'm Jewish. I don't know Yiddish. I am Middle Eastern, so we know a little bit of Arabic here. Arabic, Hebrew, and English are my languages, with a little bit of Spanglish, thanks to my high school education. Everybody, wishing you a fantastic weekend. I will be watching Michael Smerconish's program tomorrow on CNN. I love you all. Thank you for sticking with me. So far, I like how YouTube's native platform gives me the stream. I just have to figure out how I'm going to set up this set, and we will reconvene Sunday again. I'll try to put out a pre-recorded video that's sort of evergreen and just giving my thoughts. Regardless, I will see you on Monday. Everybody have a fantastic weekend and make this day the best, because we won't get to relive it, right? Have a good weekend, everybody.